Okay, so we did the exhaust pressure test, and we found that we got worn cam lobes, possibly valve lash adjustments. We can do valve lash adjustments. It will improve it, but it's not going to make it where we're going to get our exhaust pulses the way we want them, because they're just weak, because of the worn cam lobes. All right, so now what we're going to do is a coolant pressure test. Okay, so the reason that I'm doing this is because, we saw that the thermostats, either they're not in there or they're both stuck open. Because we were struggling with the cylinder cutout test, and it's dropping its temperature really fast. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to look at the coolant pressure as well. But this engine was overhauled, so we're wanting to make sure that they got the head gasket on there right, cylinder protrusion, things like that. So let's get started on that. I'm going to get the truck started, and then we're going to do idle. We're going to look at it idle, and then we're going to do a wide open throttle so we can see what the pulses are. So hang tight. Let me get it started. So the blue trace is going to be my coolant pressure. We're using a differential delta P sensor to look at it. We're at the coolant reservoir. And then my blue trace is the amps, and we're actually connected to cylinder 2. And then my red trace is going to be the delta P sensor at the coolant reservoir. So what we're going to do is look for pulses in the coolant. So we're going to do an idle and then a wide open. Let me get it started. Let's go. All right, Benny, let's get it started. Wide open. Wide open. All right, so I got the capture here. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up so we can see what it looks like. It's not looking good right now, I can tell you that. Oh, this is not good. All right, so we're synced to 2. So this would be 2, 4, 1, 5, 3, 6, and we're back to 2. Okay. So let me put the rulers on there. All right, so we're 2, 4, 1, 5, 3, 6, and we're back. So it's mostly happening in 2, 4, 5. What is it? 2, 4, 5, 3, 6. Right. So it's mostly happening in 2, 4. That's 5. What am I doing? Okay, so it's happening in 2, 4, 1, 5, 3, 6. Okay. So 2, 4, 1, and 5 is not as much. It's not contributing as much. This is wide open. So basically, I mean, and it's kind of erratic a little bit across the board, but that's the way it's going to be. It's fluid dynamics, but basically they're all doing it, right? It's happening. The pulses are large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pressure gauge on the coolant reservoir, and I'm just going to monitor the pressure. So I'm going to let it run for a while. We'll let it idle for a while, and we'll see if it builds any pressure, and we'll do that. So let me do that right now. Okay, so that was the coolant, and we kind of verified it with the pressure buildup. I mean, it ran for like, what was it, 20 minutes? And what we were doing, like 6 pounds in 20 minutes, and that's idling, right? Not wide open throttle, none of that, just idling, okay? So if it's doing that idling, what is it doing when he's driving down the road with a load? I mean, he's pushing the maybe 15 pounds, which is why he hasn't seen the coolant loss. But I'd be willing to bet he's pushing it because, I mean, we shouldn't see 7 pounds at idle. I mean, it would be zero, basically. So it's unfortunate that this is going on. I mean, the engine is the heart of the truck. With no engine, there's no truck, right? And he's invested all his money into this truck, thinking he had a good truck to work with, and now he doesn't, right? He can't use it. I don't know. It might last another week, might last a month, but it ain't going to last very long. I know that. So, that's the problem with these end frames. I mean, those 300 engines a year, engine builders, there's going to be a compromise. And yeah, this is not my first one. Yeah, this is not my first one. So, um, something is going to give, right? To achieve quantity, you're going to have to compromise on quality, and stuff like this happens. And how would you know this? How would you know this? This truck was running fine. There's no check engine lights. There's no anything, right? So as far as we know, everything was good. He had no idea that the thermostats were missing, or they're stuck open. I don't know. We haven't taken it apart. He had no idea that he's got a problem with the cylinder head. Could be torquing. I don't know. It could be torquing. Could be cylinder protrusion. It could be the intermediate plate is warped. I mean, it could be anything. It could be bolts. Maybe they reused bolts instead of installing new bolts. I don't know. I just know that he's got a pretty serious problem. So yeah, it's most unfortunate this happens. But without this that we do here, how would you know, right? I mean, we're able to look into this engine without opening it up. But it does take a lot of work to understand what you're seeing in the waveforms. It's not just a picture. I mean, you have to understand who's doing what, when, where, and why. That's the hard part, right? So, it's just most unfortunate that this has happened. So our next one is going to be, because I can see a problem in the amperage spikes of the injector, right? But I've seen it before throughout the testing. On this particular one, let me see if I can show you. All right, see this amperage spike right here? That's on cylinder 2. And I've been on different cylinders, but I've noticed that it's only pulling, what is this? About 1.775 amps. We should be pulling, well, we should be, according to Ohm's law, we should be pulling, 93, 97 amps. Somewhere around in that neighborhood. A lot of them that I see, it's about 40 amps. I don't know, but this is going to be a problem. With the lower amperage, we have more of a resistance. So the question is going to be, where's that resistance coming from? The problem is, I'm sure it's going to be the ECM, because we have hooked up to different injectors, throughout the testing. And I'm seeing this over and over and again with the different injectors. So it's not a particular injector. I believe it's going to be in the ECM. So what we're going to do next is the injectors. We're going to look at it electronically through the electrical side, and then we're going to look at it on the mechanical side. We're going to see fuel return. We're going to put a knock sensor on it, so we can see or hear inside that engine. Hear the cylinders and see who's doing what. So that'd be kind of cool. So that'd be our next test. So I appreciate you watching. Come back for the follow up. I appreciate you. Thank you.